Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Diana Johnson and today I am going to be making my fabulous jammin' jambalaya. I've chosen to use 3 different pork meats as opposed to shrimp and chicken. What I've got is a combination of chorizo sausage, smoked sausage, and ham. For the sake of time, I've already got everything all diced up. Now, along with the pork trinity, we have our traditional vegetable trinity, which consists of chopped onions, chopped red peppers, I also used orange peppers as opposed to the green, and chopped celery. Along with that, we'll be combining it with some tomatoes, some lovely spices. I've got a combination of cumin, chili powder, poultry seasoning, and a couple of bay leaves. The bay leaves really add a nice earthy tone. Once the dish becomes almost completed, we're going to add some fresh garlic cloves in. We'll get to that later. We're going to spice it up with a little bit of hot sauce and Worcestershire sauce, but first let's get cooking. Ready, chef, go. First step is going to be to turn this on to high, get the pan heated up. I'm adding in a couple of tablespoons of butter, along with a couple dashes of olive oil. Just a couple rounds around the pan, just to get the pan coated. The olive oil helps to keep the butter from burning. Adds nice little rich flavor. Now, if you ever cook jambalaya, you know jambalaya also involves rice. For the sake of time, I've already got my rice cooked up. Now that I've got my pan heated up, I'm going to add in my meats. Now the meats have already been cooked. In goes the trinity. Just dump it in and give it a stir. Well, we've been cooking this for a couple of minutes now. The vegetables are starting to get slightly tender, which is what we want. We're not going for color, we're going for softness. We're going to add just a little bit of flour into the mixture to make a roux. I prefer to keep my rice and my jambalaya separate. Otherwise, I find that it gets a little bit soggy. The rice soaks up all the juice. So this way, we're kind of like a jambalaya soup, and we'll mix it with the rice when we get ready to plate. You'll notice that I have not put in any salt. All of this pork has a lot of salt in it, and I prefer to wait and see if I need to add any seasonings at the end. We're looking to the point now where I need to get some liquid in here. I am using some homemade pork stock that I made from some pork neck bones. We've got this little church out in our New Melly area that has the best sausage dinners, period, bar none. And when they make their sausage, they always leave the leftover bones. And you can buy a bag of bones for a couple of bucks. Let me tell you, there's a lot of meat on them bones. I bring the bones home, I roast them in the oven with some herbs, and then boil them to get my stock. Our tomatoes. And now it's time for some seasonings. The colors from the spices and the tomatoes, it's just a party in a pot. Okay kids, we're at the point now where I'm going to add some fresh garlic. Now you don't have to use the fresh garlic. You can certainly use the chop that's in a jar or some garlic powder. I prefer to use the fresh garlic with the microplaner because the microplaner makes sure it's nice and fine and you don't get any chunks of the garlic. Now it's time to spice things up a little bit. Gotta have a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Just a few hits of it, maybe a tablespoon's worth, a couple tablespoons worth. Just eyeball it, a few squirts. I like mine spicy. I'm going to put a few shots of this in here, and then we'll serve the rest of it tableside. Anybody can add it themselves. With a bowl, I'm going to ladle, oh man, all of this good stuff all around the outside. Garnish it just with a little bit of pop of green. I'm going to use some parsley. You can also use some chopped green onions, chives, even a little bit of cilantro. This is my jammin' jambalaya. Does not need any more salt. The salt from the pork flavored it perfectly. I hope you try this recipe and enjoy it as much as I do. Thank you, and ready, chef, go.